So I thought I'd make an actual video to address this question, but why? First thing I'd like to ask is, why do you care? Because I can guarantee this is probably not someone who gives a fuck about my life or well-being. Probably not someone who knows me well if they have to ask why. Which is making me think, I could be wrong here, which is making me think that there is something about me that challenges you. Now, I don't go out of my way to challenge people, so I assume the why is something about how I look or the way I act. So I'm going to assume the why is something about my Instagram account or the way I carry myself. And I don't know how to answer this other than say that literally nothing is real, so why the fuck not? Like, I'm mentally ill. It's obvious. Like, I'm very much in my power regarding that, and I know for a fact it makes some people uncomfortable. Or why do I publicize my mental illness? Well, it just feels like when you look into a lot of mental illnesses like anxiety and trauma and like BPD, it's all because someone's done something. Like, I did not choose to be like this. I didn't choose to become like this on my own. I'm not fucking doing it well. I kind of am doing it for attention because I'm trying to like build awareness, but like with literally everything that's wrong with not only me but like everyone else in society, someone's fucked up, and I just think it's fucking unfair, you know? Like, I did not choose to be born. I did not choose to be living and having to keep on living, and it's just like, it just seems like a load of fucking bullshit. Like, oh, you're born, here you are, automatically in debt, you're just gonna have to suffer your whole life. Oh, and on top of that, you can just fucking deal with all the shit that we're gonna put on you, and you're gonna have to fucking smile and act like it's fine when it's not. It's fucking not. It never was. And that is such bullshit. Like, I cannot even afford to. Life slaps us with a bunch of shit. It's not fair that we have to deal with it. So I've just personally have gone like, fuck you. Like, if you're gonna put a whole bunch of trauma on me, I'm gonna fucking talk about it. Like, you don't get to, life does not get to treat me as its emotional support punching bag and just expect me not to say something. Like, if something's happened to me, I'm gonna talk about it. And I think it does need to be talked about more because, like, well, for starters, I'm getting questioned as to why I am like this, and secondly, like, we're all very fucked up people, and like none of us are coping. And like, who made these rules? Like, who is out there sitting on their throne going like, right, everyone has to suffer alone, we're going to put them into their individual slots. Never mind that a lot of it is relatable, never mind that they're like, oh, their sympathy could actually help them a whole fucking lot. We're just going to have them like really isolated and all miserable and just going for 10 years through something that could be solved in like 10 minutes of actual genuine conversation. Like, does that not seem like the epitome of bullshit to you? Like, I think what I'm like, I can't undo what has happened to me, and I can't control what has happened to me. And I'm trying to use really delicate wording here because I'm not trying to traumatize y'all. That's literally the opposite of my degree. But like, I can't change what has happened to me, and I can't change what people have done to me, so the least I can do is make something of it. And if I'm going to be fucked up for the rest of my life, which I hope not, if I'm going to be fucked up and fucking struggling just being alive every single fucking day, like, holy shit, like, if I am affected this much and carrying this much, like, the least I could do is make something out of it, you know? The least I could do is have another person not be so fucked up about it. And like worst case scenario, like, everyone could just look at me and go like, ugh, that's a mentally ill creature, like, we don't want to be like that. Here's all the things we need to change about society to make sure we don't make more of these, you know? Like, the best case scenario, people are actually going to be like, oh, that person has actually shared something that helps. I don't feel like I'm so alone, and I know my art does this. That's probably another why, actually. Why do you make so much fucked up art? Well, because I've had things happen to me, and my whole life feels like one big long streak of victimhood, and that is not a healthy way to live. And I know everything is subjective, but I am not coping with the things that have happened to me to the point where, like, even when I get professional help in therapy, like talk therapy doesn't really work that great. And like I would talk about it to like a million and one people, and I'm probably like, I'm so sorry if I've traumatized you with anything, but like I was burning through all my ACC, or like all like the helpline, like all the every, like even the police therapist assigned me, like I was burning through them all, and they're all kind of like, maybe they were all collectively shit, but like if I can burn through every single therapist to the point where they don't want to work with me anymore, and I'm still fucked up inside, and I feel like I've made no progress, that suggests there is something wounded inside me that talk therapy can't solve. And for me personally, I have found when I make art about it, and there's a physical record of what's happened, and that's welcome. Like people, like I'm very blessed and touched and humbled that people do appreciate my art that much. But it's like it feels to me like here is a physical thing that proves of what's happened to you in a way that people can't argue, because like anyone can say like, oh, she was just a certain way, she's asking for it, like, oh, you manifested your reality, you made that happen to you, right? Like people can nitpick a million different ways to make you in the wrong and to you for blame for what's happened to you, but if I give a picture of how it feels, or if I do like a creative representation of how it feels to carry that, people can't argue with that because they can see the effects firsthand. I don't know, I feel like I've gone off on a tangent here, but like art therapy does something, like creative expression does something that talk therapy cannot, and it shifts the thing. Like it actually feels like a physical thing inside me, like a rock that sits inside of me that talk therapy doesn't budge. But when, I don't know, it just gets it out, and it feels like it shoves it in a way, it shoves it out, and I feel like, because talk therapy, like I could talk about a million times and I'd still feel unheard and I'd still feel like I'm carrying it. When it's out on the page, it's gone. Like, I'm sorry, my dude, but like whomever sent this, like they are going to have to be a lot more direct, because like why? Well, why are we alive? Who even fucking knows? It's probably why I'm Christian, because like if nothing feels real, I'm definitely not real. You're probably not real too. Like I'm aware this is all delusive thinking, but if nothing is real and nothing is nice and we can't have nice things, then like the least we can do is believe in a God that fucking loves us, So like it's like why I choose to be friends with someone, because, or like even the people who I have cut off or are no longer friends with, like there is a point in my time where it doesn't matter, like we're all flawed people, but like if loving you makes me deluded, then I'll live in that delusion. Like if we don't get to have anything nice, then fuck, let me be deluded in the name of love. Let me dream of nice things. Let me have at least something nice, like I don't care if it's wrong, or if it's false, or if I wake up tomorrow and it doesn't apply. I don't know. For me right now, it just makes sense. Like I could sit here and I could argue to like, oh, this is the proof of my religion, this is the proof of my spirituality, this is proof of why I believe in this. But at the end of the day, humans will a human will believe what they believe, and someone arguing against that will only strengthen their own belief forever in their mind. Like there's nothing I could say that is going to convince you or change your mind about something that you already believe. But for me right now, regardless of the proof for or against anything, I guess, like just let me be fucking kind. Like let me be deluded in the name of love. Let me see this life is worth it. Let me see you as worth it. Let me see a God is worth it. Like the worst thing that can happen, like I can be right and I can be nasty and unkind, but that causes more suffering. Or I could be wrong and I could be kind and I could give two shits about people and I could be invested in their life, and that causes healing. And even if I wake up tomorrow and I don't see it that way, like I would have done something that affected someone, and even if it was like for the, I don't know, it just seems kindness and love seem to be what makes sense to me. And if you can't have anything nice, and like I don't know, I'm aware that I am rambling a lot, but if I can't have anything, let me be deluded just for a little bit, just if it makes it worth it. Or like, why do I look the way I look? Because it expresses the truth to me. And like, the reasons that I look the way I do right now are not the same reasons the way I looked yesterday, and they're not the same reasons like I look tomorrow. Like, right now a certain style works for me, but there's like a million different reasons, and like, I could sit here and tell you like, oh, I'm dressing like this because of the way I feel inside, or this is the way I get men to stop touching me, or this is the way I feel like I've broken out of the matrix, this is what makes me feel real, this is what... It doesn't fucking matter, because at the end of the day, like, everyone, like, I don't want someone to see like, oh, you dress that way, so everyone who looks like you might dress that way, or like, you said today you're dressing because you don't feel real, so that must be how you feel all the time, whereas I might actually be dressing like this tomorrow because I feel fucking amazing in a corset. Well, I don't feel amazing, they're fucking horrible on the wrist, but I look fucking amazing in the corset, and people just don't wear enough corsets, and like, I don't know, I look freaking bomb-ass in black lipstick. Like, I don't know how other people wear lipstick that matches their skin tone, but I have never been able to do it, so like, dark, let's just do it for me, you know? Like, I don't know. This is what... This is the way I look, is what makes the most sense. It makes me feel nice, except for when I'm getting the life crushed out of me by whatever tight lacing shenanigans I've gone up to this time. Like, this is my reality and this is my truth, and again, it feeds into the whole delusion of love thing. Like, let me be deluded if that delusion makes it worth it, you know? Or like, why do I choose to not go to certain places, or why do I hang around certain places, or like, why do I not talk to some people anymore, or like, why have I chosen to take the path in life that I have and just not stay in frickin' where I was raised? I don't know. Like, you're gonna have to be a lot more precise, my dude. Like, when you just pop up into my inbox going like, why? What is the meaning of this? Like, I'm going to sit here and have a big philosophical debate. Like, what I'm doing right now, and this is the very condensed version, my dude. Like, I don't even know if this is a dude. Like, it's written like a dude. Who knows? Men seem to be very threatened when women, or anyone not a man, does things that aren't the same as them. Men seem to be challenged by anything that exists outside their own realm. I don't know, I'm making a lot of assumptions, and I probably should not be making these assumptions, but like, you're gonna have to be more precise, because of everything I've ever done, even if they're wrong things. Fucking rude bitch. Anyway, ignoring that giant fuck ass aeroplane parking his butt cheeks right on my roof, everything I have done, even when I know that I'm doing wrong, or I know that I'm making mistakes, it has been done because, to some extent, that I am doing the best that I can with what I have in the moment. And even when I know I'm doing wrong, I'm usually doing it for like a coping mechanism. Someone just poked me on the shoulder. This fucking place, I swear, is haunted. Anyway, freaking, that was creepy. Everything I have done is the best I can with what I have, and even when I know that I'm doing shit that I shouldn't, it's because in that moment I feel so compelled to. It's like, this is what we get taught, you know, like, even like shit like this, or like addictions, or like really destructive things, at some point they have become like a coping mechanism that ensures your survival. Like, there's a certain respect to be held for, you know, like, if that's what gets you through, it's not great, but if that's what why am I rambling? I feel like my ADHD brain just jumps from one thing to another. I don't even remember the start of this tangent, but like, I don't know, it just works, and I'm sure I could give you a more justified reason if you gave an actual well-worded response, but you didn't. So I'm giving a very vague response because that's what I have to. Bitch, I don't know. Freaking be more. What am I meant to work with here, bitch? I don't know. I think, if nothing else, all I can say is stop stressing about why you're meant to be here, or why you're meant to be alive, or just maybe, I don't know, it just feels, I don't know a lot of things, but it just feels like whoever has asked this, why is the way I am a challenge to you? Like, do you not feel secure in your own identity? Do you feel challenged? Like, is there something about me that's offensive? Because again, I think I'm a nice person. Like, every step of the way, like, everything I've taken that route because I feel like it is the most constructive, the most kind, or if absolutely nothing else, it has caused the least harm. And that's all you can ever do. Like, even when I don't feel like a real person right now, but like the least I can do is be freaking kind. Or like sometimes I think, a lot of times I think that nothing is real. Like, this reality is like a series of tests to show us how our souls are in the moment, and maybe what we need to work on, and what maybe we need to focus on. Like, if this is like a bunch of tests, like, I don't know, my dude, stop stressing over it. Like, my whole life I was told, like, oh, you have to work hard to get the things you want. The reason why you've got such a shit life is because you've done something wrong. The reason why you're getting this treatment is because you deserved it, because of something you done. I've worked damn hard all my life, and I never got anywhere. And I honestly, like, I genuinely think I was cursed. Or like, I was like the good, I don't want to say the good girl, but good girl programming is a real thing. Like, it's a very real thing. It's very harmful, but like, I was the best that I could be for so many years. I kept myself pure till marriage. I was such a good Christian. I did all the things, tithe 10%. Like, I was the best I could, and like, I got absolutely shat on. I've had horrible things happen to me my entire life. Like, there's never one moment where I'm not going through something. Usually a lot of somethings, but like, I was born completely innocent, and even throughout my childhood, there's nothing a kid can do that deserves, like, kids come into the world not knowing, like, anything they're doing, it's just like, I could get into this whole rant of human development, but what I'm saying is, I was born not a villain. Like, I became the villain later, but like, I was a kid, I was just trying to survive. I did not know shit, and my whole fucking life I've had so much happen to me, and I had that happen to me doing my best and working my damn hardest, and now I just fuck around doing my own thing. I met someone off Grindr, and now I have a job, and it's the best job I've ever had. Or like, I'll just be sitting on the bus stop and someone will talk to me, and like, words will be shared, and it's like a real transformative experience, and I was not working hard. Like, this reality really isn't real. Like, I don't know how to say that in a way you'll take seriously, but like, if people can work hard their whole life and never get anywhere, and they're really miserable and it's not worth it, and then sometimes you'll just be in the right place in the right time and things will just fall into place. Like, that is not the laws of a reality. Like, it's like the law of gravity. I drop this and it falls down. That's going to be what happens every time. Or I put on lipstick, there is a mark left. These are laws of a reality, because every time they happen, every time you do, it's cause and effect. Every time there's a cause, there is always an effect. And I feel like that's the laws of a reality. You know, like, every time I drop this, it's going to fall down. But I don't know. Being alive doesn't feel like that. Like, work hard and it's meant to pay off, but then oftentimes it doesn't pay off, or you'll just be vibing and sometimes it'll pay off and sometimes it won't. It's just like, I wish I could put into English the belief in my head, but like, nah, that's not, I wish I could say, but it's just like, none of this is real. None of this is real. And like, some things are meant to be, and some things can be if you are determined enough and you fucking make sure that happens, and some things are just like nothing. And a lot of this is just, I really feel like it's tests to show you who you are and to show you where you need to go and what you need to be next. And like, that's how I'm seeing life right now. And I'm not saying this is a truth. I'm saying this is where my brain's at. I'm aware that it's influenced by my own bias and trauma and shit going on, but like, I don't know what to say. Like, I actually don't know what to say. Like, we're just here, and the least you can be is kind. And if you want something, freaking go for it. But like, I don't know, what will be, and just why not? Life is real freaking weird, and there is no explanation for a lot of shit, and there's a lot of shit that should not have happened, that you'll never understand, and it defies every law. Like even fucking bumblebees, like they defy every single law of physics and probably gravity too, and they're still freaking flying around. Like, why? It's a good question, but like, I don't have the answer to you. If life doesn't make sense, then why should I? I'm just doing my best, homie jabroni. Like, have you thought of, well, you probably are doing your best, but have you thought of looking inwards? Like, why does it matter so much to you? Like, I can guarantee you don't sit there and think like, oh, are they in a good space today? Like, did they eat a boiled egg for breakfast? Like, I can guarantee, like, even your best friends, like, there are limits to every attachment. Like, there's limits to everything, and I can guarantee your limits are probably, like, a lot shorter than my best friends if you're sitting here asking me that question. Why? Who knows? Why not? Maybe it's an invitation for you to look inside yourself and, like, do your own work there. What is it about me that challenges you so much? I don't freaking know. This is the best answer I could give. I'm sorry, but we're just doing our best, you know?